Hi, and welcome to my newest video. It's going to be a potato mushroom soup. So we're going to start off with, of course, we need some salt and pepper. We're going to have 3 cups of water. I have dried mushrooms. Now, dried mushrooms come in containers like this. So I have 1 container each of oyster mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, and porcini mushrooms. 1 container, they come and look like this. I have a 1/4 cup of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. We're going to use 1½ tablespoons of sherry. I got 2 leeks. Now the leeks we're going to cut right around here and use the bottom part. We're going to use 5 cups of chicken broth, and we're going to use 1 teaspoon of thyme. Okay, so let's get this started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the mushrooms and put them in the water. That is 3 cups of water. Okay? And these are dried mushrooms. And what we're going to do is, we're going to put the mushrooms in the water. I'm going to bring them over here to the stove. And we're going to heat up the stove on a high. And what we're going to do is, we're going to let the mushroom soak in the water. It's going to create a mushroom broth. Then we're going to take the mushrooms out of the broth, save the broth for the soup, and then we're going to chop up the mushrooms to add to the soup later. So this is going to take about 5 minutes. We're just going to take the mushrooms and push them down into the water, submerge them so they get hydrated. They'll be releasing all their juices into the water. And we're just going to let them soak over hot water, bring to a boil, and let it boil for 2 minutes once it starts to boil. So I'm going to show you how to cut up a leek the easiest way. So you just basically cut here, cut the tip off. And for me, the easiest way is to cut the leek down the middle like this. And then we have the leeks like this. We lay them flat next to each other. And then you just cut them like this. Nice and thin. You cut them all the way through. And then you just kind of chop. I just wanted to show you how to cut the leek. Now we're going to go over here. I had the mushrooms in the water for 5 minutes. Now I have them draining. So they've all drained. And if you can see, it left us a nice broth of mushroom. While I was doing that, I started to actually sweat my leeks. Let me show it to you, 1 second. I started to sweat the leeks. We know how to sweat leeks at this point if you've seen some of my other instructional videos. So we're going to leak them through, we're going to sweat them through. And I also have 1 pound of potatoes that I forgot to mention at the beginning. I have them soaking in water right now so they don't turn yellow. What we're going to do is we're going to shred them and add that to the soup. Okay? So let's just continue sweating out the leek. And then I'm going to shred the potatoes. We're going to add the mushroom broth. We're going to add chicken broth. I'm going to chop up these mushrooms into little bits to drop into the soup. Let's get started. Okay, so what we need to do is to shred the potato. And there's 2 different ways of doing it. You can do it the old-fashioned way with one of these and just grate the potato and shred it. But I'm fortunate enough to have a food processor, so we'll do it this way, which is much easier. Okay, so we're done with that. These are pieces out here. And like that we have a shredded potato. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we're going to take the shredded potato and we're going to drop it into the soup. We've sweated out the leeks. And we're ready to start cooking the soup and getting the ingredients together. Okay, so we have the sweated leek and I have the shredded potato in here. What I'm going to add the mushrooms and the thyme. Okay, and we're going to add 5 cups of chicken broth. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 cups of chicken broth in there. And I'm going to add that mushroom broth that we made from the mushrooms. Okay, I'm going to mix it all up. And we're going to let this cook for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to add some salt and some pepper. And some sherry and some other ingredients to add the finishing touches. So let's give this about 20 minutes and we'll come back to it. Okay, so the soup has been cooking for about 20 minutes and it's looking nice and thick and rich. This is going to be like a hale and hearty soup. Okay, so you can see that everything's like that. We're going to add a little bit of salt. Let's get 2 nice big pinches of salt. Let's crack a little pepper. Okay, and now we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of sherry. Yeah, we'll throw in a little extra. 1.5 tablespoons of sherry. I'm going to mix that all up. And lastly, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And that's going to melt in there. Okay, I'm going to put it over a low heat and I'm going to let it simmer for an additional 20 minutes. Now we started with 20 minutes, we're going to do an additional 20 minutes and then we'll be ready to serve. So let's let this cook down and soon we'll be eating. 20 minutes, the soup has been just simmering and it's time to plate. Let's see, this is a nice hearty soup, kind of like hale and hearty. This will fill you right up on a nice winter night. Smells good. Looks good. Let's see if it tastes good. Taste. Let's give it a little taste here. That's really good.